What's up, everybody? Good morning. Thanks for waiting for 2 minutes. Appreciate it. Good morning. Good morning. I hope everybody's doing well. New day. New day. A slightly different chart layout. Slightly different chart layout. Sorry, I heard a buzzer there. I can explain this here in a second. My computer seems to be working much better today. I actually turned it off, let it sit for a while, unplugged it, let it sit. I don't know. I had something running on there that it didn't like one bit. It's feeling much better today. What is it? Wednesday? Wednesday in the market. I'm also feeling much better. I'm like 100%. If you remember, I was sick last week. Had something, flu or something. I didn't go to the doctor. I just wrote it out and feeling much better today. I've actually been feeling much better for the last few days, but today I feel exceptionally well. I finally got back in my meditation routine, which kind of got kicked to the side when you're sick. You're like, I don't feel like, and then you lose it, right? You don't do it each day. It kind of just falls off your radar, and it's hard to get back into it. Even for like 10 minutes, you're just like, I don't like it. I'd rather not. And then you do it, and you're like, oh yeah, I feel pretty. So got back into that. Let's see. It's hard. I think I'm a creature of habit. Habits of routine. I get out of my routines. I get kind of in funks. Let's see what we had going on today. We had some economic stuff come out at 7:50 about an hour ago. I'm Central Time guy, Central here in the Midwest of the United States of America. We had some news come out this morning at 7:15. ADP employment numbers. Ooh, came in lower than expected. I would say, though, however, it might show that the economy is slowing down. You know, we talked about this before. You can read these a couple different ways. Normally, if we were like in a hot economy, like during like like a couple years ago when the thing was just moving up, cranking up, hitting all-time highs, this probably would have set the market down. But because we're trying to control inflation, I think getting some of these economic numbers that might show that inflation might be getting curbed is actually a good thing. But see how the market reacted to this. A good thing in terms of the indices. GDP. I don't really look at other countries, but Canada's GDP, how it went down, is interesting to me. I don't know if anybody can read into that or not. I don't think I could talk sort of authority on that. So, but that's just interesting on the GDP. And I think it might be a sign of the recession looming. Or maybe we're in the recession. I don't know. People talk about it. I don't watch CNBC anymore. I used to watch CNBC when I traded, but since I live stream now every morning, I'm not watching it anymore. And Bloomberg, I'll flip back and forth. What do we got going on tomorrow? We got some stuff coming out tomorrow. I can try these filter settings to make this. Get out of here. Make this. And initial jobless claims coming out tomorrow. ISM coming out tomorrow. These are Central Time, guys. ISM coming out tomorrow, so I want to make sure we know that. And then, of course, NFP on Friday, which is going to be massive. Massive. Yeah, we'll talk about the new account here in a second. You can see it shining down there. We're going to do that thing on the live stream. That's going to be my live stream trading for the moment. I need to mix it up a little bit here. So NFP coming out on Friday. Yeah, so some economics, these ADP numbers are sometimes a precursor for NFP. So we'll see how the market one reacted. We can actually see what the market did on that. Let's look at the other news. Let's just see how the market reacted at 7:30 down here. It went down, then it came up. That's what it does in life, doesn't it? It goes down, it goes up, it goes up, it goes down. Look at the news here. I saw this headline. I looked over on Market Watch. Economist predicts a whopper of recession 2020. Economist. And it's singular. One dude. One dude. They like these headlines. This is all clickbait. See, click. So let's look at what Europe's doing. Europe is down. It's in the red. DAX is barely hanging on there. I would suspect we're going down today. Asia's down too. I suspect we're going down today mainly because we're already up 1%. And so, you know, when I see Europe down, I see Asia down. I see yen down. Those are signs to me that we're south. So that's kind of giving me that bearish bias coming in, although we are up 1% already in the morning. We're positive 4,000 delta. Woo, a lot. Yeah, so we can look at technicals here in a second. We are I was going to get to it in a minute. Let's do our technicals first. We have a slightly different chart layout going on this morning because we're doing a new prop account challenge. Down here are the MNQ. I'll talk about that in a second. So these are micros down here. You don't need to look at this right now. This is going to be where we put our orders in. If we look over on these 4 charts, we're going to have our highest time frame chart down here, which is going to be our daily. We also have a 4-hour down here. We might take a peek at that. I actually probably have the 4-hour up when the market opens. I'll switch over to it. We've got our daily down here. These are going to be our higher time frames. Really trying to figure out key levels on higher time frames. Obviously, they're going to take seniority over lower time frames. So we're going to be using these to figure out what's going on in the market, plus the fundamentals, and then we're going to drop down to lower time frames, the 1 hour, 5 minute, and 1 minute. These are going to be more of our intraday charts. Primarily the 5 minute and 1 minute to find our trade setups. The hourly I like using. I also like peeking at the 30 minute when those candles close just to see what's going on. Yeah, if I see like a really bearish candle on a 1 hour, I'm probably going to be looking to go short, and then I'm going to drop down to my 5 minute, my 1 minute to try to find those setups for me. So a slightly different chart setup, but I'm trying to simplify it a little bit for moving forward for this challenge. I've looked back on like what my most profitable trades are. I've been getting killed on scalping lately, and my most profitable ones consistently over the last year have always been ones that I've held a little bit longer, or I've scaled in, scaled out of. So we're going to be trying to practice some of that with this challenge account, which I'll talk about in a minute. So I think it'll be good for me to kind of get a workout doing that, a mental trading workout, if you want. So we're gonna stop shooting from the hip so much. I say that, but you know me, I can't quite keep that gun holstered when the market opens, but we're gonna try our best. Let's see. Oh yeah, okay. So let's look at higher time frames moving, and then we'll talk about this challenge here in a minute. The daily. This is what we got going on the daily, guys. Talk about it every morning. Let's just start with the down channel we got going on here. I'm going to talk about that in a second, Jaylee. But yes, in short, we got this big down channel going on, which has been going on since January. The big downtrend going on. We broke out of it last month in August. We broke out of it. And I was like, man, this thing's going to 14,000 for show. Broke out. It's got 14,000 open, 200 SMA on the daily. It's going to get sucked up there before it finds any resistance. Unfortunately, Jerome Powell last Friday, I guess that was on this candle here. So the downtrend had started before that. But Jerome Powell really sent it down last Friday. But anyways, we've fallen now back into this channel, which we were in, this up channel that we were in since mid-June. We've fallen back in that. We've found that trend line, that supporting trend line again, where it's hitting off of. That hit off of there yesterday. If you had this up in your chart, this would have been a good place to take profit on any shorts. I think yesterday's low is going to be key today. I think it could get through that. We're obviously in a downtrend at the moment. We're in this bearish channel, which we can see here. And kind of back up into it. I can actually take off this supporting one. I just copied and pasted the one from above. So we can see the bearish channel going on here. I think yesterday's low is going to be key. I can see it poking through there and then coming back up and then moving back down. I don't know. We're going to try to find an area of resistance on it. Probably on the 4-hour or the hourly. You could maybe say yesterday's high is going to be resistance, but that just seems too silly. Silly, but I don't know. I think I've got a fundamental bearish bias over using yesterday's high as some sort of area to short, which I don't know. But we'll move down time frames here. So that's what our daily's looking like. Clearly in a down channel since mid-August. Lower highs, lower lows. And Jerome Powell on Friday sent this thing down. This is that big red candle right there. He sent that thing down talking about more pain. So, it is what it is. Let's now look at a 4-hour. Still back over. It's 4-hour, what we got going on. We talked about these yesterday. These 4-hour pullbacks have just been really nice opportunities on shorts. This was the one from yesterday. If anybody took advantage of that, had an excellent opportunity. You can see we drew that out pre-market, and then it just broke through on volume. One thing I talked about yesterday was how tricky it is to trade these futures contracts because, you're right on this move, right? You're right on this move. But even this little pullback, as it moves down from 12,460, moves up to 12,477, 80, that 20 points right there, just that little retracement right there, or maybe at 93, from 63 to 93, 30 points on like 2 contracts that I traded is like $1,500. Maybe $1,600. That's a lot. That's a lot to endure. Even on one contract, $800 or $900. So even when you get that move right, and you don't know how far it could have come back up here and tested the back end of this trend line all the way up to 25, 24. So you've really got to be precise on these things. And one thing that I'm going to try to do today, because I feel like I'm getting the direction right, and I feel like I'm getting the analysis right. It's just my entries. If you watched particularly last week or was the week before, I can't remember. I had like a $2,500 loss day or something. I had it right. I was just getting chopped out. Shorting it too low, popping up, getting stopped out, and then you start freaking out, and then you're like, oh, okay, we're going long, and you go long, and then you get stopped out because the direction is clearly bearish. It's just you got it in a bad spot. So we'll talk about kind of the strategy I'm thinking about using today and moving forward with this challenge. And I'm going to try to simplify my trading and try to calm it down a little bit. And we'll talk about that here in a minute. But yeah, these 4-hour pullbacks are providing excellent opportunities. There's one over here, and you can just see the volume that comes through on these as they break those support levels. We perhaps have another one forming over here. This thing may want to come up hit that 20 SMA. Yesterday's high was where? All the way up here. I'll just draw it out. Just draw it out. Yeah, up here. I don't know if it's going to get up there, to be honest. I think maybe, I think this 20 SMA on the 4-hour might be an interesting spot, and we'll see if this corresponds with anything over there on the 1-hour when we pop that baby up. But I think this 20 SMA here on the 4-hour might provide a good opportunity to perhaps start scaling into a short position. But we'll take a look at that in a minute. And then, your stop is up here at 64. So yeah, it's going to be 15 points. If you're trading micros, though, you can probably absorb that pretty easily and not be a big deal. And then you're wrong. But if you're right, you're got a big opportunity to the downside. So what I found, and I don't want to go off on too many tangents here, what I found is that I'm kind of in a mental funk where I'm trying to, and I think a lot of traders go through this, trying to hit big trades real quick, and I'm just looking for that P&L. I'm just looking for the P&L. I'm looking to look down at my P&L and see it say $700, $800, $1,100, and that's all I want. Instead of really trying to trade well. And some of that is from the live streaming, I think. And that's, no, I'm not blaming anybody for that. That's all on me. But some of it is just trying to perform, to show, you know what I mean? Rather than actually getting some good trade setups. So for me, I'm going to be looking for this impulse up, and then we're going to look for a break of structure to the downside, followed by some order flow. We do have our book map up. We still have book map. We're still using. You see this massive area of liquidity up here, 12,500. And we can talk about this also in a minute, but we use these areas of liquidity as magnets that price may want to get sucked up into. So we can see here all this buying that came up, buying. It came up to that area, and then we've. I suspect we are going to want to come back up and engage these orders. And we can also see here the buying and selling activity map. So we take a peek sees at that as well when the market opens to confirm those levels of support and resistance as price moves. All right, so we've looked at the 4 hour. We've identified that we've got this pullback in an overall bearish market. We've got that support line drawn. I've also drew it out here on the 1 hour this morning in pre-market. I'm going to take this off because it's confusing. God, you can see all that selling. All this selling screwed up my 1 hour chart. This is a weekly volume profile. So now as we move down into lower time frames, we're going to start using volume profiles and order flow more. And we use those around key levels of support and resistance. I can see a low volume node come right here on the weekly volume profile. This corresponds with yesterday's high, which we marked out at 12,500. Remember, we got that huge area of liquidity sitting up here at 12,500. Sorry, this is 12,000. We'll just say 500. At 500, we see price rejecting off of that. It's also the upper end of the band on the 1 hour. We've got weekly pointing control there as well. So that could be an area of confluence. Again, this trend line to me looks significant. I could even start scaling into position here if I wanted. And on a micro contract, instead of a mini, you could endure, particularly just on one contract, you could endure, 50 drawdown. That's so I am anticipating this supporting line to break and for us to move lower again. Of course, price is going to do what price is going to do. Just have to go with the flow. So that's what we got in the hourly. We're at the top of the band here, 12,500. We've got yesterday's high. Oh, sorry, not yes. Sorry, that's the 20 SMA. Sorry, 12,500 is the 12,550 is a 20 SMA on the 4 hour. That to me would be a significant area. It's not yesterday's high. I apologize for that. That to me would be a significant area, but I think it's going to push off of here. The market just opened. Geez, I've been chit-chatting a long time. So we will use our 5 minute and our 1 minute to find those intraday setups. One thing we are doing today is we are doing the Take Profit Trader challenge. It's a 50K account challenge. We've got to make $3,000. And there are some rules to it. So we've got a daily loss limit of 1,100, I believe. End of day trailing drawdown at 2,000. Man, I want to jump in on this short so bad. What we are going to do is we're going to be trading micros on it, not the minis. I've got the mini charts up, but we're going to be putting orders in over here on the micro chart. So we're going to be using the mini charts to chart everything, but we'll be using the micros to enter into orders and scaling in and out of positions. So it looks like it wants to fall as I'm chit-chatting there. That 12,500 level, you can see it over here on old book map, massive area of liquidity. I'm going to be looking to try to get in a short in a good area. I'm not having my volume profile generating on here. I'm not sure why. Very much like to have my volume profile on. Not sure why it's not generating. I haven't really looked at the chat today. What's up, guys? There, now I got my volume profile. I gotta take off this Williams percent range because I don't. I'm gonna add cumulative delta. The joys of we're gonna be looking to start a short position here as soon as I get my charts sorted out. The other nice thing with having that the MNQ over there is that I can't see it really. I mean, I'm not really staring at it. Like this is gonna be very support. I'm gonna try to start scaling in on some pullbacks. Yeah, Zero. I talked about that in the pre-market stuff. I changed some of my chart setups here for this new challenge. We're not going to be scalping so much on this challenge. But if you guys want to, there is a coupon code in the description below. If you guys are interested in this, what I like about Take Profit Trader is they have they've got some interesting, they've got some cool features. I think one of them is you can actually reset your pro account. So once you get funded, you can reset that account. It's a lot of delta coming. Downside, you can reset your pro account up to 3 times. So I like that. If you pass it, you can feel like some traders freak out when they get their funded account. No need to freak out. You blow it in the first couple days. No worries, no worries. Always reset it. They don't have any crazy withdrawal rules like Lilu and Apex does. One thing I will say, and somebody pointed this out in the video that I posted yesterday. There's also, if you haven't checked it out, you can see my video from yesterday. All the benefits that I saw from doing Take Profit Trader. One of the benefits I saw is, one of the only few drawbacks I saw is that you have to be in your trade position for longer than 1 minute in order for it to count as a trading day. So I know what a lot of people do is they pass these things within a few days, they abide by the consistency rule or whatever, and then they jump in on the micro trade, to fulfill their consistency days, and you can't do that with Take Profit Trader. So something to keep in mind. Coming down to that supporting trend line now, the 20 SMA on the 1 hour. Lots of selling going on though. Did I see how much what costs, says Arik? Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. Is that? Yep, I saw a book map. I just don't have it up right this second. I'm just watching this price action. We're gonna have to try to figure out maybe different little trades set up here. Oh, guys. Oh, I don't have my commissions on here. Son of a gun. Sure, not VWAP. Take one little mini micro. I don't know, man. You don't have to do it. You don't have to do it if the reset fee is too much for you. Delta's dropping lower. The other thing I really want to work on is making sure I take my stops and take them sooner. So this. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to pay the reset fee. You can just do another one if you want. Right? It's like don't do it. Don't pay the reset. Do what you want. Ain't nobody making you do that. I don't know, man. You it's tough, guys. It's tough. I need to add so, yeah, you can only have one rhythmic connection on NinjaTrader at a time. So I'm taking another short here. We got stopped out as it popped back through VWAP. If it pops up into value area high, I'll just take another short. I'll just take another stop, and we'll try to find another entry on it. Do I have to switch the keys? No. So with Rhythmic, you just go in and create another Rhythmic connection on in NinjaTrader. So you just go in and oh, I can actually do a video on it if you want, but yeah, you just go in, add another connection, you make it a Rhythmic Trader connection, blah blah blah, and rename it something else, and you should be good. And then you just put your keys in there. So you'd have two different ones. You can have multiple, save data connection profiles in Ninja. Like how people call it Ninja. Support seems like it's kind of holding, huh? I kind of like just trading naked sometimes. I do like the volume profile, but I do also like just looking down at just like a naked chart. It's just easy. It just feels easy on the eyes and less stressful. It's like I like it over here in the corner where I can't really see it. So not like just yelling at me. So do you have to switch the keys? No, you don't have to switch the keys. You create a new connection. Wait, that's a new connection. Yeah, this looks like it might want to pop up through here and then maybe make another move up. I mean, this trend line's holding, it's wicking off of it. Okay, so what you do is you go to connections, click on connections in your control center, then you click on configure. Click on configure. I would move my control center, but it's going to screw up my OBS thing here. So then you click on configure, and then you just you scroll down to Rhythmic for NinjaTrader, brokerage, and then you click add, and then you enter all your stuff. Now we're popping higher. Trading plan is on hold. I'm still looking at this 20 SMA on the 4-hour as a possible level. We're hitting this. I'm looking at the 4-hour down here. See if that big area liquidity is still sitting there on the book map. So, yeah, the big area liquidity is still sitting there on book map. Suck price back up into it. Now price is pushing back off of it. And that would actually have been a great short on that wick, I think. Goofing around with stuff. Yeah, man, no problem. A lot of these places have like what you call it, help centers. You know what I mean, like facts and stuff. Facts, FAQ, frequently asked questions, and they have pretty. It's really simple. It's not overly complicated. I could actually do a quick video on it. How to connect rhythmic connection. Oh. Try to short the session highs here. We need to be looking for these bigger moves, right? Like I'm getting back into my scalper mindset, which is no bueno. If it gets up through all that liquidity that we saw on Bookmap, I definitely want to be out of it. I add to it up at 97. I'd be out at maybe 6. Yeah, I want to be if it can eat through this and pop through it, then I just want to get out of it. That. Ah. Liquidity still holding there. Needs to eat through some stuff down here at 82. Oh, there it goes. I think just let it stop me out. Ooh, and a hairpin. But we might be looking to actually add to this. If this thing does want to roll, I'd probably add as it broke. I would add to it as it broke the support down here at 60-ish. So you can see that down there. If it can start rolling over. Well, hey man, there's a coupon code below. You can take that coupon code, or there's a link. If you click the link, boom, take you over there. Boom, take you over there. Golden. 40% off. Go up, huh? Trying to pick the top of it. I think it's got room up to, if it wants to break that 5,500 level, I think it may want to go up to 50. It's just surprising me that it's moving up so much, but like what it wants to do. So I think we got stopped out on that, huh? Such is life. Oh, it's rolling down. 1 minute wants to close. Feeling it? My stuff go? I had a timer over here on my 1 hour. I had my other thing over here. You might be right, design Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. She gone. We're just kind of waiting. I'm gonna wait how that 5-minute closes up there. Looks pretty bullish. They all can't be winners. They all can't be winning days. Morning control coming in up here. Looking for some sort of signal from the 5-minute that I whipped that book map there. I see a bunch of liquidity sitting on top. I'm still want to go short on it. I know the consensus here is not to go short, but feels like it's rolling over. Bit of a low volume node here, hitting that trend line support and through it. Sometimes you just gotta go. I feel like when you're trading micros on a little easy with. I've got to remind myself not to shoot from the hip. Thanks, Kyle. I appreciate that suggestion, Kyle. I would agree with Kyle. We all need to like this content. This is some fantastic bear. This is some bear-tastic content. It's a very bearish candle in the 1 minute. Pull back, bullish. Yeah, bullish candle, I should say. I'm sorry. Breaks the high, moves up. We may have to wait. What I will say though is taking your stops. I mean, when you got the trade wrong, way to go. Nothing to do with quality of trader that you might be. The best traders for me are the ones that can take their stops and just take their losses, move on with life. Just wait for those setups that are in your playbook, that are in your wheelhouse. You know what I mean, guys? You know what I mean? Lords. This thing looks indecisive here. Oh, looks like it wants to roll, maybe. Well, the first trade would have been a good trade. Such as life. You can see how it broke this trend line. Bearish candle is a retest of the back end of it. That would be short. We're not trying to scalp it today. We're looking for those bigger moves. So probably looking to exit. It hits 20 SMA on the 5-minute. I'm really looking for this supporting trend line here to break and for us to start to fall a little bit. Do that today, I don't know. See how this 5-minute closes. We've got 5-minute candle closing in 10 seconds, the hourly candle closing, 30-minute candle, lots of closings here. A few minutes, I think it might give us some sort of idea. Dang it, I should have taken that short. See how it's wicking. See how that 20 SMA that we talked about, pre-market, see how it's wicking now away from that. Might start scaling into something. We're at value area low though. So let's give this thing a like, guys. Would you mind? Thank you, everybody. I appreciate everyone's comments and suggestions. That's what my son does all the time. Starting to do it now. I figure out where to put the book map thing. It's like, I really want to see what order. I really want to see what the order flow is looking like. Liquidity is sitting at 32. Ba, ba, ba. Ba, 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 ba. Going crazy. Kuala Lumpur. I said that. Let's look at order flow. I like how you can get in here and just like get it now. It's like yeah, conveyor belt. Orders. Buyers, 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 buyers. Sellers. Oh man. Some coffee. Oh my god, I almost choked talking. Coffee. Stop. Stop. Take that. Stop. Take that. Stop. I'm gonna make a day trading wrap CD. I got out of that trade. It looks like it wants to pop up. What's up, George? Nice job, Kyle. Go do your work, sir. Oh, man. Would it have gone to my take profit? I have my take profit down here, value area low, plus the bottom of the band on the 5 minute. It's going to go down there. So design knob, I would say that if you want to trade the ES, you should trade the ES. I like trading the Nasdaq. I used to trade the ES when I first started trading, and I just like trading the Nasdaq more. It's just for me more enjoyable. I like the movements of it. I like the way it flows, and I just want to keep trading it. I know some people have suggested trading the ES, and they like the ES, and I'm sure that they've had some success with it, and they should keep trading it if that's for them. But for me, I like this guy. And right now we're just kind of trying out a little new strategy, trying to catch bigger moves. I can't watch both, man. I can't watch both. It's too much information coming at me. So that's just me. Well, we should have held it down to our price. Should have held it, should have, woulda. Very valid trend line here in the 5 minute. Let's check it out. Let's do some further investigating. Several touches on this bad boy. I would say this is a very valid trend line. Break it, may get that move down, but it's 5 minute, looks very bearish. I got to figure out a new chart setup here. I want to get my book map up here, but I need to be able to enter orders, and I really just need to be able to enter orders over here in the MNQ dome or something, but like, I don't know. I got to think about it. I tinker with that this afternoon. That's interesting, Sam. A lot of people say that the Nasdaq looks choppy and that the ES looks smooth. Still haven't broken this trend line, this supporting trend line here on the hourly, which we were kind of predicting would break. A very similar setup to what we had yesterday. It might come, it might come at 9:30. I make it come in the next 5 minutes. See it over here. It may, make it at 10 minutes. It might break that, but it doesn't look like it to do it off the bat. Lucas telling us oil inventory is in 20 minutes. Yeah, I'm not sure either, but it's interesting to note, so I appreciate that. So the first day might be a red day, guys, on the challenge. I would rather it be a small red day. If the trading plan didn't follow through and we take a small red day on it, that's okay. I'd rather it be a small red day than me sitting on my hands too afraid to try to read this price, not get in on it. So I'm happy with the way the trades played out, even if it's a small red day, because I think I took the ones that I wanted to take, except for this consolidation up here. I should have taken a short up here, and I didn't. I got stopped out as it poked through. But this consolidation, my gut was kind of telling me that this thing was roll over. I should have scaled in at least one and then maybe added as it broke, but it doesn't seem like we're getting that big follow through like we got yesterday. And sometimes that's typical. You get a big move one day and the next day it's kind of a rest day. So SW Blaze, yeah, I've got a trade copier. I thought about doing that. I didn't do it. If I was trading by myself, I probably would do it. Definitely would do it. But for the live stream, it caused confusion. I don't know why. Because you'd be seeing different P&Ls up all over the place, and I would just be not different P&Ls, but I would have a live order going on here. I could try that. Might not be a bad idea. I've got a trade copier. Anybody knows what those are? That's not a bad idea, actually. Well, I'm still kind of waiting for this trend line to break or do something. Break, come down, come back, retest it, maybe start a position on that. What I'm telling myself is I should start scaling in now with the anticipation of it break. Right? Thing I'm not happy about is I don't have my net percent change thing out. I can't remember what it's called. It's called. Never find it. Every time I try to find it, I can never find it. Oh, net change display. That's what. And I put it on, and then I think I lose my volume profile. Maybe that's what's happening. Maybe the volume profile and the net change display thing don't like each other. No, I still have that. There we go. Hey, hey. Support area down here, 90. You can see that confirmed over here on Bookmap, all those orders sitting there. Now they just got pulled. I did something on Bookmap here. I did my cumulative volume delta for the session over here on Bookmap, which was cool. I went in and sort of restarted as the US session opened so that I can actually see cumulative delta, not from over here on NinjaTrader, but as the session is opened, I can see cumulative. So I like that. I think that's cool. I don't know if you can do that on the Ninja. See all liquidity sitting down here. Delta moving a lot more positive away from the support level. This trend line's holding. You can see it over here. Trend line's holding, 20 SMA's holding. Nope, I've never tried CR charts. Yeah, SW Blaze, that's right. So you use the sim. You would use a sim because you don't want to trade micros. The leader account is the one that you would trade off of. So the way that you set it up is I would make this chart a sim account, and then I would copy it over to the micro account over here. It sounds complicated, but it's really not. I might do that actually. I'm gonna have to tinker with it this afternoon. You know, first day jitters, trying to figure this thing out. I also don't want to like overcomplicate it. You know, I think for anybody who's watching, it could be just too overcomplicated. One thing you can see here is this low volume node on the weekly volume profile right here. So it's a big area of confluence, 20 SMA on the hourly trend line, and then you've got this low volume node on it. Big support area. I think if bullish, it should actually be an interesting place to try to go long on it. Not bullish though. So I'm not. What about you guys? You guys bullish or bearish on this thing? Let's take a poll. Always put the poll in the wrong place. Let's ask our community. I'm gonna grab some coffee. I will be right back. Let me know what you think of this. Shit. Uh-oh, guys. I spilled coffee on my carpet here. No. All right, what's it gonna do down here? What's it gonna do down here? I think it's gonna bust through, ain't it? Ain't it? Seems like it. Let's see what's gonna do down here. All right, guys are back. Sorry about that. Walked into the room. I opened the door. Of course, the door hit my coffee. Golly. Right on the carpet. Man, it's really holding this level, huh? This trend line is definitely holding. We're wicking off of this thing like nobody's business. Lots of support down here. Cautious of it down. Cautious. Just let's see if we got any levels of liquidity sitting lower that it might be seeking out. Start eating all this. Bunch of liquidity sitting down 78. 50 orders. Just see this order. These orders sitting at 78. I think that if you were gonna trade, if you were gonna scalp it, I think you'd probably be looking to get out at that level. God, you could just scalp on Bookmap all day. 77, it's value area low. You see all those orders sitting there at 77, 78. Value area low in the weekly profile. Tough, tough, tough call. See Delta moving up. It's a hard one for me, guys. Oh, I got my short bias. I see these long wick rejections. Sometimes I'm more of like a contrarian trader where I see these long rejections and most people are going long because that's what you're supposed to do. Off of a support level, I'm always looking for this thing to break and move lower, but maybe it is to the upside. What do you guys think? Oh, I didn't end my poll. I did my poll, guys. I'm gonna end my poll in 30 seconds. I'm gonna end the poll in 5, 4, 3, 2. Make your vote. 1. Some time for latency. And goodbye. What did our poll say? Man, nobody's really that bullish on it. So that's interesting. Now it's getting through that level. We saw that liquidity sitting down there at like 78. It's also value area low. I think you might be able to scalp that. You can see how it poke through on that. It's going to get any follow through or not. Really watching what it does here. We've broken down through that. See how this, where this 30-minute. I don't know. It looks like it won't fall. See that 4 hour? You know, I mean, this is kind of the play, right? Let's see how that 5 minute closes. Trying to read price a little bit. Yeah, I'd really like to see is it come into like a low volume node that we can then, you know, short. I'm really just trading that it broke this trend line. I'm just gonna get out of the low there to this 5 minute. It's gonna take me forever to get to 3,000 at this rate, isn't it? Run out some levels. First day jitters, we're just getting in the flow of things. If I'm looking back on this and I'm being honest with myself, you know, getting in up here was a spot to get in at it. So it's consolidation, pullback, or not pullback, you know, we start breaking lower, getting on some of these pullbacks. You know, I could be saying the same thing in 30 minutes about getting in here. You know, I could be like, that was the place to get in on it. At some point, you got to pull the trigger and start grabbing your cojones and just getting in on the trade. You know what I'm saying? It does all look very bearish, though. Pretty thing down here, but it's pretty new. Love to see a. I love to see a LVN form. God, I remember like my best trades are the ones where we're trending, and then we get, you know, a low volume node that forms and price drifts up into that low volume node or down or whichever, you know, counter trend. And you're just like, so easy. Short at that LVN. Beautiful. Not having it today though, unfortunately. See if this level wants to give us a holdsies. I'm picking this level here to short. It's the back end of this trend line. We got the 20 SMA up there at 400. We've also got this trend line here. I think you'd probably be popping out at 10. So, you know, if it gets up to through that trend line, I may get out of it. Yeah, probably. We'll just take our stop at 10. You know, that'd be broke. You know, we broke bearish structure, so just get out. That's a decent place for a pullback, I think. 20 SMA on the 1 minute. I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you think? Where does she want to go to if she is falling down? It's a question. Just shorten this trend line here. You know, I think maybe down to 20, maybe down to 30, all the way down here. So that's a decent trade, I think. Now, the one thing I remember, I'm not using an ATM strategy. And I'm not doing that because I've been having the hardest time. So this is a decent trade, right? Right, guys? 20-point stop loss for a, Jesus, I can't even do 50-point take profit. I'm not doing ATMs because I've been having a hard time with, it won't let me scale in, scale out. So like, I'll be like, let's say short 3 contracts, and then I decide, okay, I want to take a contract off and I want to buy back that contract. It won't let me do it. And I don't know why. And I haven't been able to figure out why it won't let me do it. So I'm manually putting in these things in here. You know, so that's where I'm at in life, right? ATM strategy. If they're basically the strategies that it shouldn't be called strategy. Basically, when you put an order in, it'll automatically put a stop loss and a take profit for you based on predetermined values that you set. So, for instance, you can do like, I want to take they usually do it in tick values. So you do like a 40 tick value, which is 10 points, take profit, and a 20 tick value, you know, stop loss. And so it'll automatically put that in there. And then if one of those triggers, so if your take profit triggers, it'll cancel out your stop loss or whatever. So they're just kind of handy things to do, I guess. Automatic trade method. Oh, I don't know. I've never looked it up. I have no idea what that is. That is an excellent guess, though. I love that. If it's not that, it should be that. I'll just call it that. I'm gonna try to lock in some of this profit here. I'll take 20 on it. If it pops up, if it breaks this candle, if it breaks this 1 minute high, it's probably gonna make another move back up. Thank you. I should be thanking you. Excellent description of what that is. We moved our stop down to try to. Now, I'm not a big fan of moving your like doing trailing stop losses, and I'm not a big fan because typically what'll happen is you'll get stopped out, and I feel like that if you're willing to risk that much, so I'm moving this down now. We get a breaks higher, and then breaks the top of that candle. If you're willing to risk that much, now I got to take this off. You should be able to, take the full advantage of the trade. So I kind of have like an internal debate about that, I guess you could say, where it's, yeah, like I'm glad I got out there, I guess. I feel like, okay, you know, yay, we got a winning trade. But at the same time, I'm like, I do think it's going to come down to 30-ish level. That's something I got to work on. I should have tried to scale in again on pullbacks. It's only one stupid micro contract, but it doesn't matter the value. It matters the win. It's all psychological. All psychological. It's such a mind. Advanced trade management. Very nice. I like that one too. All right, guys. I don't know. I might jump off of this. I feel good about, even though it's only $30, I feel good about the way that I traded, I guess. I'm not really going for fireworks right here. I'm really just looking to trade better and get back into like a good trading method and kind of clear my head and just, taking the P&L off my mindset. Although that last one though, I should have held on to this, I think, down to the bottom of the band on the 1 hour. Down at least to 33. I think it's probably going to fall. But mentally, I'm kind of spent right now. So I'm probably going to jump off of this. I'll be back tomorrow though, and we'll be kicking this thing back up tomorrow. What I'm going to focus on is scaling in. I'm going to focus on reading price, scaling in, and I'm going to continue to work on taking my stops and setting my stop losses. Taking those stops. I was really happy with the way that I took my stops today. I should be proud about that. I feel like a coach. I feel like I'm talking to my kids at halftime of the game. I'm a soccer coach. I coach my kids' youth soccer team. I'm really happy with the way that I took my stops. I need to work on scaling in and out of positions. I need to work on reading prices a little bit better. I probably would be taking my stop right here at maybe at 403, right above the support. Resistance, I mean. This is actually one chart. This is named. So first day, I'll take it. In terms of, the P&L, I don't give a shit about. Trading though, I was happy with. Yeah, thanks. How do you get the volume profile on the charts? You gotta have the lifetime license of NinjaTrader. And if you get the lifetime license, you get this order flow suite, which are these things down here. That's how you get it up on your charts. So I don't know if you have that or not. If you're interested in buying that, I would be cutting my position here. That short position, it's breaking structure to the upside. This would be. I would get out. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't go long on it. I think it's still got the 20 SMA here at 05 on the hourly right there. That's 20 SMA. It's also got this trend line, which might be providing some resistance. But right here, as Delta's moving higher, we're out of this down channel. The short from me, Jeopardy. So I'm glad I took what I did when I did. So. But I also would have been fine just getting stopped out here. Some days are just going to be like that. Not all days are going to be, $5,000 days. Some days are going to be boring and they're just going to be flat and there's no follow through and, there's no follow through on the trade and it's just, a $30 day and that's what it is. And then other days, this thing will tank down to your price level and you get it, or it tanks all the way, makes a massive move to the downside like yesterday. Some days will be like yesterday, this. Right? Other days aren't. So just the way that I'm gonna jump off this thing, go for a walk. It's a beautiful day here. It's absolutely beautiful. I'm gonna go enjoy it. I hope you guys jump off and enjoy it as well. Please come back, join us tomorrow, 8:10 a.m. Central Time. I'm gonna maybe try out that trade replicator thing I have. I'll give you some details on that, how that works. And yeah, if you guys want to do one of these challenges with us, there's a link in the description of the video about how you can get 40% off anything over at Take Profit Trader. I've also got a 50% off one for Apex if you're interested in doing that, and I'll throw that in the description below. Well, all right, guys, take it easy. I'll see ya later. Bye.